So the cereal, it's Mandalorian is from Star Wars, right? So
Absolutely. Oh yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
So what's really funny? I've never seen Star Wars.
Wait, you mean like you haven't seen like the new ones? You haven't seen the new Star Wars?
No, like I haven't. I've seen like bits and pieces of the first one, which I think is like the fourth one. But like I don't know. I never got into
Yeah.
it.
You haven't seen any you don't really know anything. You don't know Star Wars. You haven't seen Star Wars.
No. I
That's
don't feel confident saying that I'm like I've seen. I can't say I've seen Star Wars.
you haven't seen. I feel like you know what? Have a good rest of your night.
No, but you see, but I saw some bits and pieces. Shoot. Hello there, my friends, and welcome back to another edition of Let's Get Cereal, the weekly show where I, your host, Alyssa Marino, eat cereal and talk about stuff, and sometimes talk to people. I have a very special guest with me today, a dear, dear friend, Watts.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Alyssa. How are you?
I am just dandy. Watts, I'm going to cut right to the chase. You threw out a challenge to me to find the cereal, and as I can see on, if you lean back your t-shirt, people are going to know why.
Oh,
We've got the Mandalorian Cereal.
that's right. Outstanding. Outstanding.
I need to show you because I really like the color scheme of this. Little, the child heads.
Okay. All right.
Okay, for our marshmallows. I like the yellow and the like kind of lime green. Were very nice. Aesthetically, very pleasing. My friends.
There you go.
Let's get cereal. It doesn't really have much of a flavor. Maybe lemon lime. A lot of the time, though, I want to check the box of the cereal to see if that'll give me any clues, but there's so much artificial junk in it
Right.
that I never can tell, you know?
Right. Sugar and happiness. That's what it
That
is.
is what cereal is made of, sugar and happiness. Gosh, you're right.
That's it. That's all yours. You take that's you. You take that.
Thank you. Thank you. My next t-shirt's sugar and happiness.
That's it.
I'm very curious because this is obviously a very special pick. You're a huge Star Wars fan. When did your love for Star Wars begin? What got you hooked on this?
That is a question that I don't get a lot. So good on you, surprisingly. I first got into Star Wars. Honestly, I would say maybe second or third grade. So how old would I have been in second or third grade? I don't know, 6 or 7. I mean, it's young, like I don't know, but I was young, and my mom kind of put me on to Star Wars, and so that's kind of like she liked it because it was like a fantasy world, and at the time there wasn't much blood in Star Wars. There were no, I mean, there was the Leia costume. Outside of her, there wasn't a big wasn't very sexual either. So like, it was perfect little world for me to get lost in, and I definitely got lost in it.
And I feel like that's such a beautiful kind of escapism part of a lot of different fandoms. And I can see behind you, we have some Doctor Strange. I got the Marvel t-shirt on. So I know you have a lot of different interests. This is coming from a man who has wrestling gear that's paid homage to Darth Vader as well as to Thanos. So what kind of other fandoms are you interested in?
So we have Star Wars, we have Marvel. I like some DC. It's just I feel like DC is very top heavy. I feel like Superman, Wonder Woman, and all them, but like the lower tier people are kind of forgettable. I'm real big into Game of Thrones. I know it's over now, but I was a late bloomer in that. I joined the party late, and it was a great party to join in on. I don't know if you watched it.
Oh yes.
But that was a good show.
I feel like it's almost better to join Game of Thrones late because then you didn't have to wait week to week to follow the story.
Right. I'm so happy I didn't have to do that. It was actually really enjoyable for me. I got to go through Game of Thrones without any interruption or any, on my schedule. Amazing. Let's see. I'm also a big gamer. I have all the consoles. We're big into VR. Big Lakers fan. Championship. LeBron brought it back to LA. Did it for Kobe. We had to do it to him. I love football. I mean, I like a lot of stuff. I love delicious cereal. My favorite is Captain Crunch. They don't really try to do a whole lot, but what they do is very good, and I can appreciate it.
And what they do tears your mouth apart, so it shows how tough of a competitor you are.
Right. It is like eating glass, yes, but it tastes good.
Sweet glass.
Yeah, sweet, delicious glass.
Well, we were talking about you being a very tough competitor, talking about wrestling gear. Even though this has been a very wild year of 2020, you've been pretty busy. We recently saw you on AEW Dark. We've seen you on Primetime Live. We saw you at Talkin' Shop Mania 2. How have those experiences been?
I feel like I've been really blessed to be able to still have something, especially out here in LA where there's not a whole lot happening. I've been fortunate enough to be put in positions where I can still wrestle every once in a while. And so I'm just thankful that I get to do that. I like to think that a lot of that is just putting out good energy into the world and having the world put it back in. So I'm super thankful for it. AEW was a great experience. All the boys and girls back there are really, really cool. Production, everyone's real nice. And that was a really good experience. So hopefully we'll be back there soon. But it was great.
Now, very prying question. If you had to be in a tag team with any Marvel character, who would you pick and why?
So tag team, meaning you have to be within the rules of wrestling, meaning no cheating with their powers, because that would kind of be cheating. You know what I mean?
Wow, I didn't really see this question very far through.
Well, let's just pick. Let's say I'll tag with someone who would play within the rules. I think Spider-Man would be an amazing tag team partner. I think he'd probably be the most entertaining wrestler on the planet. He has wrestling experience technically, so there you go. He has experience and he's been there, done that. So why not Spider-Man?
Agile, high flyer. I think that could really work. Okay.
Yeah. He probably can work real good. He's done it before. He knows how to recognize the audience and play the crowd. He'd be great. Real marketable. Oh, let's cash in on that. Let me tag with Spider-Man, get some right his
coat. The merch sells itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Good stuff. Okay. I'm glad that you're such a stand-up dude too. I love the fact that you brought up the rules of wrestling. Like, you gotta do it right. You gotta do it right.
There are multiple ways to do it, but it's still a right way that it needs to be done. I think me and Spider-Man could do it.
I think you're 100% right. A lot about this show, a lot about Let's Get Cereal is about nostalgia. And I feel like a lot of things are very cyclical. Things come back again. We rediscover things we used to love. A lot of it can be stuff like action figures, even wrestling, comics, cartoons, fashion. So what is one thing from the 90s that you would not want to see make a comeback?
Oh, okay. So the thing about the 90s is so much from the 90s has tried to come back a little bit in different ways. It just hasn't worked. And one thing that I wish would not try to come back anymore is Power Rangers. They made a movie that came out a few years ago, and it just was just not Power Rangers at all, really. And it's like, just let Power Rangers be campy, let it be hokey, let it stay in the 90s. It's when they try to bring that back, I'm like, don't do this to me. Let me have my Power Rangers the way it was.
Watts is a Power Rangers purist, my friend.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Fair enough. Did you have a favorite Power Ranger?
I liked the green one because he had that sweet golden vest and he had the flute and he could summon like a Godzilla type monster from the sea, and that was awesome. Because Godzilla is awesome. The original, the OG OG season green.
Wasn't he also bad at one point?
Was bad.
Okay.
Yeah, you know your stuff.
So Walt's not all above board. He'll follow the rules of wrestling, but he likes the bad Power Ranger that then went good, I guess.
That's right.
So, okay, while we're taking a jog down memory lane, you gotta tie it back to wrestling. Of course, who were some of your biggest wrestling influences while you were growing up?
Oh man. So for me, I'd say the biggest one is probably the Undertaker.
Mm.
He's a bit taller than I am, but we have similar body types. And just seeing a dude at his size be able to move that he was able to for so long. Like dude was doing topes over the top rope in his 40s. Like that's insane. And making it look easy. So he's probably the biggest. You don't really hear this guy a lot, but Triple H has been a big influence of mine. He really understands TV and he really understands cameras and he really understands moments and like I really like try to like pattern a lot of my stuff after him, his wrestling, and I would say those are probably the top two. I mean, there's a little bit of Mike Awesome in there, a little bit of Rock in there every once in a while, but for the most, like those are probably the top two, Triple H.
Over the course of your career, you've been referred to as Big Nasty. But I want to know what Watts was like as a little kid.
Oh man, so that, what's funny about that is I'm not too much different than how I am now. I'm just more mature. I still like the same stuff. I like Star Wars. I like video games. I like wrestling. You know, I love my Lakers. I haven't really changed a whole lot in my years. I mean, I'm bigger now, and they let me drive. But outside of that, yeah, it's yeah, I was just there's like kind of a big nerd. Didn't really fit in with the cool kids type of situation, but I hit a growth spurt and discovered athletics and things changed. So, but yeah, I was a big old nerd.
Was it like you were a nerd, but you were so big that no one would mess with you kind of thing?
It was that. I mean, occasionally there would be some like a group like there would be some kids that would try stuff, but for the most part, people let me be.
Fools. Watts, I want to thank you so much. Like we said, this is kind of an unconventional year, but do you have anything that's going to be coming up where people can be seeing Big Nasty in action?
Oh yeah, so we are still a part of the United Wrestling Network, which you are doing a fabulous job in commentary. And so that means we're part of Primetime Live. Obviously, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Follow me on my socials and stuff. Twitter at Darth Watts and Instagram at The Big Watts. Do that.
Well, my friends, thank you so much for joining us while we enjoy the Mandalorian cereal. Watts, thank you for joining me, and we will see you later.